Good morning and welcome to the ESIT Substitute House Bill 1916 update. This session has been updated from the original content shared on May 14th, 2024, and re-recorded to reflect final modification to the single monthly count criteria aligned with legislative intent of Substitute House Bill 1916. Next, you'll hear a welcome and greeting from Val Arnold, State Administrator.
Good day and welcome to the implementation of Substitute House Bill 1916 statewide webinar. My name is Val Arnold and I have the privilege of serving as the Early Support for Infants and Toddlers State Administrator here in the state of Washington. Before you all turn to the content of today's session, I'd like to take just a few minutes and engage in some appreciation and celebration with you all. There is so much to celebrate in the successful passing of 1916 and the bill signing. We are so blessed to have Representative Zen as the bill's legislative champion. Appreciation and gratitude is plentiful and includes all of the individual small and large group activities undertaken throughout the legislative process, from preparation and planning, ongoing discussions and clarifications, testimonies, amendments, and all the way through to successful conclusion. There are so many voices that united to make this important legislation cross the finish line. Parents, practitioners, administrators, advocates, policy analysts, state funding partners, and of course our legislative sponsor, newest member seated on the State Interagency Coordinating Council, Representative Zen. The witnesses gathered around Governor Inslee as he signs the bill in this photograph proudly represent the multitude of influencers, both those out front and those behind the scenes. Together, united in service to improved outcomes for children and their families, influencers can now catch their breath, stand back and say, "Together we can do hard things, and together we did this." While it is not all that we had hoped for, it is an important step that will take us together into the next legislative session. I wish I could be there directly with you. I am with you in spirit. Have a great webinar.
Today, you're going to hear from Tammy McCauley, Accountability and Quality Improvement Manager, and Lauren Thompson, the ESIT Resource Allocations Manager. First, we'd like to start with just a little background information on the RCW 43.216.580. This RCW put in place the structure for the state lead agency, which is the Department of Children, Youth, and Families, as well as the criteria for counting children. You see that criteria on the slide highlighted in purple under C. This is the language that was recently changed by Substitute House Bill 1916, allowing for all children to be counted during the month that they were served. On the screen now, you're seeing Substitute House Bill 1916 language. The original language in the bill is on the left. The original language in the RCW is on the left, and the changed language is on the right. So originally, the only children that could be counted were children who received a service within a month prior to the monthly count day. That language has now changed, and children can be counted if they have received a service within the same month as the monthly count day, which is the last business day of the month. And you see that language here in purple on the slide. Next, this also changed the single monthly count criteria. So there are now 2 changes made to the single monthly count criteria to ensure that all children who received a service during the month can be counted. Again, the original single monthly count criteria is located on the left of the slide, and the changes to the criteria are on the right of the slide, highlighted in purple. So B was changed. Originally, it said that children had to be between the ages of birth through 2 years of age and not yet 3 on the count date. Now the language reads, children can be between the ages of birth through 2 years of age and not yet 3 on the days of service delivery. And then again, at the bottom, it references the RCW language that indicates the change in the count day. So children can now be counted if they received a service within the same month as the monthly count day, which is the last business day of the month.
Thanks, Tammy. This is Lauren Thompson, Resource Allocations Manager for the ESIP program. In the next few slides, I'm going to be reviewing our internal protocol for the state special ed birth to 3 funds, and how we set our rates, and how we calculate allocations, and the data that we use to set those allocations, and what changes have been made due to Substitute House Bill 1916. So on this slide, we talk about that state special ed birth to 3 funds are a per child allocation methodology, which means that it's a fee-for-service payment method. Contractors are reimbursed the county EIS rates that are assigned to each resident school district catchment area for each child counted on the contractor's single monthly count report each month. 4 of the county lead agencies receive 100% of the county EIS rates, and they must distribute 95% of those funds to their ESIP provider agencies in their catchment areas. ESIP provider agencies that serve the other 35 counties receive 95% of the county EIS rate, and DCYF retains 5% for statewide training and support activities. The county EIS rates are adjusted to reflect the updated BEA rates that are made available by OSPI in October, January, and April of each contract year. January also includes contract amendments to reflect the actual average FTE enrollment data that's been reported to DCYF that we'll talk about on an upcoming slide. And state special ed birth to 3 contractor compensation is based on the single monthly count multiplied by those county EIS rates. So for the July rate setting and contractor funding allocation, we use the county EAS rates that are calculated in April using the March BEA rates published by OSPI and April through March AAFTE data as reported by our local provider agencies that serve all 39 counties. The projected annual allocations for the July 1 through June 30 contract are calculated using the July county EAS rates and April through March AAFTE data. So Substitute House Bill 1916 did not change this criteria for our July rate setting and contractor allocations. In October, we also do our first rate adjustments to the county EIS rates. When the September BEA rates are made available by OSPI, the county EIS rates are adjusted to reflect the annual average FTE data, which will be July through June. These rate adjustments are effective October 1st, and contractors will be provided with updated A19 invoices for billing. So this piece of the protocol, again, did not change with Substitute House Bill 1916. There are no changes to how we calculate our October rate adjustments. In January, we do rate adjustments as well as allocation adjustments to our contractors. So following the submission of the November single monthly count report that will be due on or before December 20th, the county EIS rates will be adjusted to reflect the December BEA rates published by OSPI and actual average FTE enrollment for July through November. So highlighted on this slide in purple, you'll see the adjustments due to Substitute House Bill 1916 that we need to make to our protocol as related to the January rate adjustment and allocations. So the previous protocol was that we used the December single monthly count report that was previously due on December 25th. Now we will be using November single monthly count report, and that is the new due date is December 20th. Previous protocol, we used July through December data, but now we will need to use July through November data. So these rates and allocation adjustments are effective January 1st, and contractors will be sent contract amendments to sign, including updated A19 invoices for billing. And as always, if there are variance between the initial budget projection and this mid-year adjustment is greater than a 10% change, our contractors must submit a budget revision using the fiscal workbook within 30 days of receipt of that amendment to reflect those changes. The last rate adjustment is in April. When the March BEA rates are made available by OSPI, the county EAS rates will be adjusted to reflect the year-to-date actual average FTE, July through February enrollment data. So again, highlighted on this slide in purple are the changes due to Substitute House Bill 1916 to this area of the protocol. Our previous protocol, we used July through March, and our new protocol, we will need to use July through February enrollment data. The rate adjustments are effective April 1st, and contractors will be provided updated A19 invoices for billing. The February single monthly count report is due on or before March 20th. Our previous protocol was that the March single monthly count report was due by March 25th. And the next slide, Tammy will discuss the single monthly report due dates and invoice due date changes as well.
Lauren. On this slide, you see the single monthly count report and A19 invoice due dates. Up in red on the first line, you will see what is currently happening. The due date is currently the 25th of the month, and that due date, because of the change to the last working day of the month, for the single, to be able to count children the last day of the month, your due date now is going to be the 20th of the following month, so that we can then process invoices in a timely manner. So here you just see a snippet of when your due dates are. Your run date remains the same. FRCs have until the 10th of the following month to enter all of their IFSP data for the previous month. You then run your single monthly count on or before the 11th of the month, depending on when FRC data has been entered. If it's entered early, then run your report early. Otherwise, reports need to be run on the 11th. Again, the due date now for the single monthly count report has changed. It's no longer the 25th of the month. It is now due by the 20th of each month. You then previously your A19 invoice was due by the 10th of the following month, and now your A19 invoice is due by the last day of the following month. So we want to make sure that you understand this completely, and with the change happening July 1, you will see a lag in your July payment. And if you took the entire timeline that's available to enter your data, run your report, send your invoice in, and send your single monthly count report in, and then send your invoice in. If DCYF received your invoice on August 31st, then DCYF has 30 days to process that invoice for payment. And you could then receive your payment as late as September 30th. So just keep that in mind. We want to make sure that that you're planning for that leg in this first month as things are changing over. Also, want to make sure that you understand when you're counting children, if a child has transferred between programs, it is the program who holds the IFSP on the count day that gets to count the child.
Thanks so much, Tammy. And the last thing I would say about this is that typically in years past, you've had a whole extra month to be able to submit all of your invoices for the year. But because the single monthly count day is moving to the last day of the month, that time frame has shortened. We will need to receive all invoices by July 31st, which that due date is not changing. So I just wanted to highlight that as well.
Thanks, Lauren. That's a great point. You see here resources that have been made available where you can access them on the DCYF website. Please feel free to look at those. And if you have any questions, please reach out to both to either Lauren or myself. Our contact information is on the screen for you. And we just thank you for listening to the webinar today. And again, if you have any questions, please reach out to either one of us.